Vibrations and quantum resonance. Quantum resonance is when two or more energetic things start doing the same thing, so they get in sync. So, for example, um, when you have a house full of women, they've noticed if they aren't being poisoned with birth control and medications, and their body's working naturally, what's going to happen is these groups of women, if they're all menstruating age and menstruate, their menstruation periods are going to get in sync, meaning they'll all start getting their periods at the same time. Another thing that's quantum resonance is that when they have a wall of clocks, clockmakers notice that when you have swinging pendulums at the end of those old-fashioned clocks, that eventually all of the swinging will become in sync as well. So this is important to know because on a human cellular level, so everything that happens outside is applicable to humans because we are a compilation of everything, of all animals and all plants. Some of the qualities they all have, we have within us as well. So that's a cool thing about being human. And so quantum resonance is applicable to us as well because um, darn it, I got lost in my sidetrack. Quantum resonance, menstruations, walls. Oh, so when you have a household of people and you have someone come live with you, that person will start adapting to the belief systems and the lifestyle that these other people have. So, for example, I was living in Mexico for a while, and when I came back and we stayed with my son, we introduced juices that he wanted to start drinking daily, which were unhealthy. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, we're bringing things there and changing him, and he's adapting to the new things that we've learned. And so that's how it spreads. We move to a different country, we learn new things, we come back, and then we infiltrate our new country with good and bad habits that we've learned from wherever we traveled. So, yeah, quantum resonance, when you have a husband and a wife, for example, you might both be meet and you're very similar in vibrations because the you're born at the top where it's pure source energy and helium, and as you go through life, you get your needs don't get met, you get injured and wounded, people harm you, whatever happens, and you lower your vibration and you close off your relaxing and you no longer want to absorb information because you've been injured, and that's your um, security response, your safety response. You want to be safe, so you make a barrier, and so you no longer want to take in information because you think you know everything, and you start closing your mind. And so when you are in a relationship, you're somewhere on this vertical level. Everyone's at different levels and they move and fluctuate day to day, moment to moment, because you can be vibrating very high and making great progress in becoming completely pure energy. But someone comes and ruins your day and drops your energy right to zero. And it's much more difficult to regain your level of consciousness, your sense of peace and relaxation and non-stress when someone hurts your feelings and does something and says something or does something that affects you, but you can easily instantly be dropped. So it's easier to drop your vibration and be traumatized than it is to heal and let go of trauma. And that's a really interesting thing because, yes, trauma and pain and suffering happens instantly and it can be excruciating, but the will to heal yourself takes a little bit more slower, but the effects after is completely solid. Like it is solidified when you heal from trauma and you choose to heal. You can make it so solid that nothing can ever permeate it again. So you'll never ever get hurt. That's one of the cool things about light. It's impermeable to darkness. It's trauma that affects us. It's like dropping a big cement rock when we're solidified and banging it. That's what trauma does, and it creates a fracture into our purity. But that's because we're in human form and we have a mind added, and our mind and our body get interfering of our knowledge of truth. So that's how we get fractured, and that's how we get pain and suffering, and that's how we lower our vibration. So when you have a husband and wife, you have different vibrations. What might happen is one might have a spiritual awakening, and then all of a sudden they're more advanced, or they just decide that they want to better themselves and be like, let's eat better, and the other one's like, no, let's not. So one's going to increase their consciousness and vibration. But what's going to eventually happen is when you have two differing vibrations, they're always going to meet and not necessarily in the middle because we are always affecting each other. We're malleable. Humans are malleable. We absorb information and experiences, and it becomes part of us because it changes our perception and our belief system. And we can't really stop that until we remove all impurities and stop putting impurities into us. And what happens is we become that solidified, pure source energy that's impermeable. But yeah, so this message was about quantum resonance and how we change and adapt. So when you understand that we're adapting to everyone around us, you understand the necessity to remove things that aren't for our highest good, that are low vibration, because it lowers our vibration. It brings us closer to um, depression and anxiety and sickness and illness and disease and pain and suffering. So it's necessary for us to make sure our environment, including the people that we are with, are higher vibration. And when we're around people that are of low vibration, we need to learn to be really conscious of their negativity and their willingness to pull us down. We must learn how to maintain our high vibration because it is a choice. We can choose to engage with them and allow them to hurt our feelings. We can choose to not work on ourselves and heal our wounds, our traumas, and all of those things so that we're not triggered, because when we become triggered and we don't try to learn from it, it lowers our vibration because being triggered brings all of these triggered emotions, which are negative, like sadness and jealousy, rage. So yeah, that's important of quantum resonance. I love you guys so much. Namaste.